What's going on, guys? Alex here with TFL Car. I'm here in Milan, Italy, checking out the brand new 2021 Honda Civic Type R limited edition. So what's so special about this limited edition Type R? Well, it's a more track-focused version of the Type R. And let's start with the powertrain up front. That's unchanged, so let's kind of get it out of the way. It's a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder with a 6-speed manual short shift transmission, front-wheel drive with a limited slip diff, 306 horsepower, 296 foot-pounds of torque, 168 miles per hour top speed. You guys know this. This car has been out since 2017, and that is all unchanged. Now, the first thing you'll notice is this Phoenix yellow color, and every limited edition Type R for 2021 is going to be coming in this Phoenix yellow. 600 units are coming to the US, and in addition to the yellow, we have a bunch of black accents. So you get a gloss black hood scoop up front, gloss black roof. You also have these gloss black mirror caps, which are really cool looking, as well as some dark chrome Type R and Civic badges right there. You still keep your red Honda logo. That's a signature for the Type R. So let's get to the fun stuff. What makes this better for the track? First thing is the wheels. These are BBS forged wheels, and they reduce the weight of this car by 18 pounds. So they're made by BBS. BBS also developed the forged wheels for the NSX and the S2000. So they've worked with Honda quite a bit. And around these, you have some Michelin Pilot Cup 2 tires, very low profile, very good for the track. Now there's also weight removed from other various places around the car. So if you look on the back here, there is no rear wiper. And a few other places, there is no rear heating duct back here. Inside the trunk, you can also see that they've removed the tonneau cover, so no cover for your cargo. And if you look inside, you're not gonna be able to see it, but they've reduced some of the sound deadening, and all of those things combined, along with some other things, you can see there's no light on the mirror, just some random places around the car, that helps reduce the weight by another approximately 28 pounds. And then up front, you can see there is no infotainment screen. But in the US, we will get an infotainment screen. As you can see, this is the Euro spec version by this badge right here. In this, you're going to get dampers that are specifically tuned for the track, so everything's going to be a little bit stiffer, perform better when you're really pushing the limits of this car. And they also recalibrated the steering, so you're going to get better control, better feedback, really be able to feel what the wheels are doing when you're pushing this to its limits. Now, the coolest feature for the new Type R is the data logger. It's not specific to the limited edition because we do have the infotainment screen in the US version of this car. You will be able to get it in the limited edition, but it's also coming in the standard Type R. So there's 3 parts to this new data logger. There's the performance monitor, a log mode, and an auto score function. So let's talk about the performance monitor first. It is going to show you everything you need to monitor while on the track with the new Type R. That's going to show you everything you need to know. So water temp, oil pressure. It'll give you a gear indicator. It's going to give you a G meter. So that will either be on a graph or it can actually show you a 3D version of the Type R from the rear and kind of show you where the car is leaning, exactly what it is doing. It's also going to give you your intake air temperature, atmospheric pressure, really every single detail you need to know in this car. Now, the log mode is going to record your lap times. So it uses GPS, you set a start and an end point on the track, and it will keep track of your best times and log all of your laps. And this all works in combination with the app that they created, which is available for iOS and Android. It will be coming this spring. And basically, you can unplug your phone from the car after you're done at the track, compare all your times, monitor your history. You can check, how you compared at that track versus the last time you were there. It's a very advanced system. Then you also have an auto score function. So the auto score function is going to monitor your braking, acceleration, and steering, and it'll give you a smoothness score. Basically, that's going to encourage you to get better lap times. So with smoother driving comes better lap times. If you've ever seen Paul at our track in Colorado. He just looks so smooth, and it doesn't look like he's going that fast, but he always blows every one of us at TFL out of the water when it comes to lap times. So being smooth is the key to it, and it's really cool that they kind of give you that score. There are also some changes to the standard Type R for 2020, and all of those changes will be making their way into this 2021 limited edition. There's some exterior design changes, cooling improvements, suspension upgrades, braking system changes, and a few subtle interior changes. I did a one-take video from the event, which is on TFL now, and I go into all of these changes in greater detail in that video, so go check that out when you're done watching this so you get all the details. So you may be thinking to yourself, why is Alex in Italy talking about a Japanese car that's built in England and sold in the US? And that's a good question, so I briefly want to touch on that. Honda was nice enough to fly me out here to check out the Honda Civic Type R limited edition, and they chose Italy because it is the home of Yaz Motorsports, which has been Honda's official racing partner for over 20 years. Yaz originally started out as a racing team, but they've since moved into engineering and manufacturing, and they build these really cool Honda race cars. I was able to get a brief behind the scenes look at how these cars are built. I was able to see how they make the roll cages and basically look at a bunch of different cars along the production process, and even check out some really cool things, including this Type R wind tunnel model. Now this wind tunnel model is super precise. Everything is exactly as it is on a full scale car. And even the engine inside, it's 3D printed. Everything about this is made to replicate the full size version of this car. And it is crazy expensive. This wind tunnel model is about $250,000, which is the equivalent of 6 or 7 Type Rs. And it's about the size of the suitcase I brought with me here to Italy. So crazy expensive, and just kind of cool to see the development that goes into these race cars. I'll quickly go over this sport line right here, and quickly because this isn't coming to the US. But with the sport line, there's a few changes. You get smaller 19-inch wheels with Pilot Sport 4S tires, some gray accents along the side that are slightly different than what we get in America, and you also get this low wing spoiler that's a little quieter than what we get in the States, a little more sophisticated, especially with that wing. Because pricing hasn't been announced yet for this Type R limited edition, it's kind of hard to compare it to the competition, but I'll let you know what's out there so when we do get pricing, you have something to compare it to. Just as a baseline, the Civic Type R, the standard model, goes for $37,255, and all these prices I'm about to tell you include destination. Now the closest rival in terms of power and torque to the Type R is the Subaru WRX STI, and that goes for $37,895. Last year, Subaru did launch a special edition of the STI. It's the S209. That makes more power than the standard STI, 341 horsepower versus the 310 in the STI. And you also get an upgraded suspension, chassis, and brakes. So it's kind of a full performance package. Production is limited on that vehicle to 209 for the US market, so slightly more rare than this Type R. And that goes for $64,880, so quite a bit of a price increase from the regular STI. Also in the same ballpark as the Type R is the Kia Stinger GT. That goes for $40,535, and they do make a special edition model of that as well. Again, launched last year, and that is the Stinger GTS. About $45,000 with all-wheel drive. Same power and torque as a standard one, but you get a special orange paint job and some carbon fiber trim pieces, and there were only 800 of those built. You also have the Hyundai Veloster N Performance Package, which is the closest front-wheel drive rival in this hot hatch space. That goes for $30,655. And then the 2019 Volkswagen Golf R. There is no Golf R for 2020, but the 2019 is $41,290. And again, no special edition models for that vehicle either. And then one last competitor is the Ford Focus RS. That was one of the closest direct competitors, but Ford killed that off in 2018. so not really a competitor anymore. It'll be interesting to see how much this Type R limited edition goes for, comparing it to the two other limited edition hot hatches. The WRX STI has a huge price increase over the standard model, not so much a big price increase on the Kia Stinger GT, so we'll just have to wait and see exactly how much more you're gonna have to spend to get into one of these limited edition Type Rs. So there you go, guys. There is the 2021 Honda Civic Type R limited edition. Super cool car. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to go back to tflcar.com for more news, views, and real-world Honda Civic Type R limited edition reviews.